You've been home for a couple of years now, buddy, but you're still fighting the war.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Shoulder to Shoulder, Untold Stories from the Forgotten War, where we tell stories of British and Civ Mill Gap. I'm Will Silver, with my BFF, riding shotgun, the lovely, the talented, the vivacious Kate K. Kate, how are you doing today?
I love the effort that you must have put into looking up. Sorry. How it feels good.
Well, I consulted a big dictionary, and I went to letters that I don't have a lot of words that start with, and it was like D. Right?
Yeah.
Boom.
You need to be happy, right?
Yeah, thank you so much. These compliments are what kind of keep me going throughout the week.
It's nice you have a podcast.
That's what it is. So I am very, very excited to talk with our guest today. He is one of my personal heroes. He is an American hero as well. Ritchie Mushfiq was born in Kabul from 2006 to 2008. He served as a combat interpreter with American forces, specifically Provincial Reconstruction teams in Kapisa and in Parwan. On April 29th of 2008, he was in a vehicle that hit an IED that left him a double amputee and killed one of our teammates, Senior Airman Jonathan Yelner, and later took the life of another one of our teammates, Captain Casey McCausland. Following that IED, he waited patiently, I don't know how he did it, until September of 2011, when his special immigrant visa was approved and he came to the United States. And then in 2018, he became an American citizen. And he currently lives in California with his lovely wife and 2 daughters, who are a handful. I've met them before, beautiful young ladies. And since the fall of Afghanistan, Ritchie and I have been working together to get our trusted Afghan allies out. So it is my pleasure. It is really my honor to welcome Ritchie to Shoulder to Shoulder. Ritchie, thanks for coming on, brother.
Well, thank you so much, Will Silver. Thanks, Kate, for having me today. And it's such a great honor for me. Shoulder to shoulder. Work with you and, bringing our trusted Afghan allies to the United States. The people who are eligible, people who just would sacrifice and work with us. It's a pleasure to be here.
We are so grateful that you're here with us, Ritchie. I really are. So, I think just to kind of get started, I know that you were, born in Kabul, but if you could kind of give us a little bit of background of what your life was like before the American invasion in October of 2000.
Well, like other Afghan families, we migrated to Pakistan, the first time when Afghanistan collapsed. And, we had to leave from Afghanistan because my father was working with this government. So, and he had a job in a hospitals in Afghanistan. So he was a pharmacist. So that's why we had to treat with Pakistan. So, and then it was rough. It was rough for me. At the same time, it was challenging, to learn English. So I started working on the street. It was rough. To make money and pay for my tuition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you learn English?
How I learned in Pakistan, saying one of private courses with that, and then I become an English instructor there. So, and then I had the honor and the privilege to work with Afghans in some of the immigration camps, in Pakistan. Okay, that was something. Yes, yes. And then I decided, well, since I know English, why I don't have to just do something for my own country?
Yeah.
Voluntarily, voluntarily, I left my mom and dad in Pakistan. I came to Afghanistan to become an interpreter. That was the goal. So uh, I saw it. It was fun. It was good. Yeah, and I become more productive.
Yeah.
Yes.
When did you? So did you? When did you come back to Afghanistan?
It was 2004.
Okay.
Yes, 2004. I came back to Afghanistan, and then uh, I worked, in some of the non-governmental organization. I work with Germans. I work with, British. So becoming like forcing instructor for some, foreigners. So, but it was not something that I wanted. I wanted to do. My passion was something else, that I wanted to do. Or, yeah.
So why join? So why become an interpreter? Why join? Sign up for something that people don't really realize that is not only dangerous for you, of course, um, but also dangerous for your family because everybody knows who interpreters are and who their families are. And,
Right.
they were targeted by the Taliban. So why join?
Yeah. My passion, something that, I just wanted to, and I always, thinking about this, that, okay, when, if Americans leave their comfort zone, come to my country to serve. Mhm. So it's kind of core for me that I should just, sit in a civilian job and just like, do nothing. That's something that I just wanted to know and, serve and do something productive. Yeah.
Feel about serving with the U.S. military? Like, did you have any concerns about that? And did first thoughts right?
No, I do not have any concern. Actually, I feel so good. I did some research before joining. I knew that, these brave men and women, they're doing something good for our country. I don't care about the political things, I just uh, feel that, okay, why I shouldn't join for the good cause? These men and women that they leave their comfort zone and come to my country to serve and to help. Why I shouldn't do this? I wasn't concerned at all. And well, yes, my mom, yeah, of course. My mom always, yes, always. My mom was just like, yeah, you should just quit the job. I said, enough.
My mom says similar.
Well, let me share a story with you. The time that we were in Tagaf, in Kutchbock.
Yeah.
So we were just like almost like always under the bunker, because of all those, snipers and those kind of things. The time that I was talking to my mom and dad, they were just like hearing the gunshots and stuff like that. And where are you? I was just like, I'm at home. I'm at home. So probably that's the TV, I'm just watching a movie.
Definitely.
Fireworks.
Oh, yeah, that's fireworks. Yeah, it's just like, yeah.
There's storm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Yeah. So when you became an interpreter, Richie, did you how was that application process like? Like what did you have to do to get hired on by American forces?
well, the application process was kind of challenging for me, and it was not something that I went before of the process. I mean, it was just like the background check, the English testing, Farsi, English, and Pashto, of course. Yes, this testing. Uh, since I knew all the languages like partially and correctly, my native language and English was good, I was accepted. Yep, I was accepted. It was not something, I was just like, but it was kind of new for me. Yeah, I'm sure there was a background constraints. So, yeah.
What was the job itself like? Because I think since you're combat interpreter.
The job was, for me, it was fun, just going on convoy and just talking with Afghan, elders, with, just sitting down and just like being not only a combat interpreter, but at the same time being like a cultural advisor,
Yes.
tell the American forces, okay, these are something that you should not do it or should not say it, or these are the things that you have to say. Yeah, it's like I know just like some of the things that often will like, those silver definitely know about that, just
Yeah, I would say that.
yeah, yes, yeah.
It's such an important part of the job because nobody sends men and women who face something Afghanistan. A lot of times they don't have a lot of knowledge about what the culture is like. And so they might come there with good intentions, but we don't have going to sort of foster that trust. And I just see as part of what I've heard a lot of these recruiters. I've heard a lot of people like Will, a lot of times never say, I wouldn't have any jobs if it weren't for people like Ritchie. So it's not just the language services. They really can't function successfully within, the borders of Afghanistan.
Right.
Yeah, Richie's a humble man, so
Thank you.
I'll brag about him. And
Yeah, pretty.
we were on a provincial reconstruction team, which is a joint team. It was Air Force and Army. Our job was to extend the reach of the Afghan government into the provinces and into areas where they didn't have a lot of reach. Ritchie was our headquarters was in Bagram Airfield, which is where the big base is in Parwan. But we were kind of forward deployed, if you will, to Kapisa province, bouncing between Najrab and then Tagab, which are two districts of Kapisa. And Kapisa is northeast Kabul, the smallest province of Afghanistan. And it's kind of a microcosm of Afghanistan in that little bitty province, because up north you had more peaceful places that were Tajiks, some Hazaras, not a lot, but a little bit of Uzbeks here and there. And then in the southern portion, in Najrab and Tagab and parts of Alisay, which is another district, you had mostly Pashtuns. And so his job was, we were not only dealing with elders, but also provincial and district level government officials. And Ritchie was what I would call the A team, right? A team combat interpreters are the ones that you bring out for the big meetings, right? The ones where you got to get everything right.
Ritchie West.
And it's not just a word by word translation. It is, Ritchie leaning over and saying like, "This guy's lying to you," and and then kept on going, right? Or like, "This isn't the right guy for us to talk to. This is not really the village elder," right? So Ritchie's also picking up signals on what's going on in a meeting. What are the nonverbal cues that are going on that I'm not going to pick up on as an American? And Ritchie was the best interpreter that we had. I had a hard time, and Ritchie will attest to this, of firing interpreters because I know they all wanted to come to the United States, right? They wanted to do the SIVs. So I would say, a lot in my little team. And so I had like team A, B, C, and D. Team D would just be the guys that when somebody would come to the gate and be like, "You need to talk to Captain Will," I'd be like, "Go talk to him to see if I need to talk to him." They had some English problems they had to get a little bit better with, which is fine.
I do.
Right. But Ritchie was, team A, the guy that you wanted to make sure that you had for those important meetings. And Ritchie was a pro. He was a pro.
I just think it's so important because when we, especially after the U.S. military left Afghanistan, right? And people are hearing about the interpreters of the trucks. If you ever hear trucks like this,
Of course, yeah.
just the thing I had learned. But I think people don't understand how critical those relationships really were. Like, Ritchie wasn't just the interpreter, right? Like, he was the functional competency guide, and he was an advisor. Like, you guys really had to rely on people like Ritchie. Like, don't done your job without him. And I think that's the way, that's the perfect people subject gets, is that these relationships were much deeper and much improved than just the language services, which is important in its own.
Yeah, and Ritchie was there's different types of interpreters. There are, local national interpreters like Ritchie was, and there are American citizens that came to the United States, and they had usually clearances and stuff like that. So they usually worked at Bagram or some of the bigger bases. And while they might have had clearances, they usually hadn't lived in Afghanistan for a long time. So their understanding of like how things work had been a little bit dated. And sometimes they didn't like to go out into the hinterlands like Ritchie. Ritchie felt very, very, very comfortable out there.
So you felt like you're a little bit of a cowboy.
He is.
Well, I just, I accept it. I accept it, Acceptance is the key, Like, being hit and different 29 to 48, so when I lost my legs, I accept it. That's why life is easier for me. With that guy, I work 16 hours. I go for it, and my, duty is right now a security officer for a private company. So I do the same thing, in a very, I call it ghetto place. Yeah.
In a very dangerous neighborhood.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Nothing, buddy. I didn't doubt. Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah. At the same time, so just building a relationship with the American forces, like let's say the trust. It was difficult to build that trust, but eventually, I'm so happy, just I was able to get that trust, and I was just able to talk to some people, like, because some of the close feedback that I was giving to Will Silver or to Jens, some of the things that I was going outside, or just some of the phone calls, some of the signals that I was getting, I was just like sharing with that, even just like in the hospital, inside the hospital, that I was just like unconscious, and then wake up and saw something weird. I reported that, and everybody was just like, Ritchie, you have to take care of yourself. I said, you know what? No, I can't stop. Yeah.
Yeah, Ritchie doesn't stop. That's the thing. He continues serving. So after after the IED, you recuperated, and then let's kind of talk about what happened after that. I think that we left, our team left, and then you were forced off the base. If I'm correct on what happened after that, is that right, Ritchie?
That's right. Yeah. So I could probably say that Curfy, you guys team was just like a family to me, always taking good care of me, providing me a room there and inside the background year field. So it was a safe environment for me after you guys left. I was forced to leave. Then
Why were you forced to leave, Ritchie? Why did they go like, oh, and by the way, forced to leave means he was forced to leave Bagram Airfield.
Yes.
And go back to living amongst the local.
Right. That's right. Yes, I was about to say that. I was forced to leave because they say that, okay, you're disabled. You don't have contract with us. You need to go. I said, where should I go? And they go like, okay, you have to go back home. I said, it's not safe for me. Where should I go? Should I just go and surrender myself to bad guys? Should I do that? They said, it's just deal with us. One of the NCO or something. And then what happened was just like, if you remember, we had a church across the street from our PRT office. Yes, I was there and I just, told my story there. I took off my percent. I go like, okay, here's my condition. I can take care of myself. I can just do anything. Where should I go? And then he came with me and made them to just, keep me there for some time, which happened. Yeah.
Do you think that that's what was going to happen after you would like served alongside the U.S. military being injured? Like, was there any part of you that, let's say, heal to this way? Stats with you.
No.
I'm shocked.
I was shocked too. I was shocked too. And I was not expecting that to happen. I was just like, even, let's say, White Silver, and Steve Kaiser, David, everybody was just like coming to my room and just, making sure that I'm safe. I have enough food after my injuries, But when these guys left, I was not expecting that to happen, without any pay. So I was doing some volunteer job for PRT, after you guys left. I was translating, I was interpreting, without any contact, but it's still one. Which was sad.
It's people to listen to me because it's not a community of like a resource, right? And once that resource gets a finite thing and those who weren't able to perform anymore, we were treated as like a person, like a human. I mean, listening to the story, I feel like you were devalued. And for some reason, they thought that it was okay to come to you and say, well, because you're injured, you no longer have that value to express you to continue to use you. I think that's nice. One of the hardest parts of military culture for leader at the Yelner is sacrifice. I wish that I had something better to offer with you, except that you obviously didn't deserve that. And my heart really hates you.
Thank you so much for giving me all that. But so, of course, I was not expecting that either, because I was calling all the military people that I serve along. I call them brother. I call them family. Something that I was not expecting. And I was just drunk. I just, it took me a long time. Yeah, I'm skinny.
Go ahead, brother. Go.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for every, individual that I work alongside. They work on my visa. Oh my God, it wasn't my PhD. It's the so from 2009 took me almost 3 years. Almost 3 years. I remember the time that I was come back from somewhere, and I was just like, brother, I need to go to Pakistan for my interview.
Because at that point in time, the United States Embassy in Kabul was not doing SI via interviews.
Yes, sir.
They were doing interviews for visas.
Yep.
The Ritchie, who was living at home, more or less, at that point in time, had to go to Pakistan, which, by the way, was very, very dangerous to do. And so, go ahead and tell them how we were able to do that, Ritchie.
Oh God. So when I contacted Silver and I, give him the good news that I was called for an interview, the first thing he asked me, Richie, how are you gonna go? How are you gonna travel to Pakistan? I go by car. And you go like, are you crazy? So come on. I said, brother, I can't afford it to fly to Pakistan, honestly. And he go like, okay, I can take care of that. And he offered me that. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much for that. Yeah.
Like with you guys, these have word. It's not that to throw away friends. You guys stand with here. They leave and I know how seriously they'll take it. For help with these things. I only learned they got SABs because people were in the podcast. Super said that the military highway can be used to be able to institute your. And I didn't realize the SIU to affect that far back. So did you have like how long between when you applied for the SIV and when you actually got on that flight and came to the
It was just almost like 3 years. The whole process. The whole process. I had to go to Pakistan with my wife, do the interview, and came back. And honestly, it was a whole lot. If you remember, yeah, it was a whole. So I had to go to NATO, office headquarters in Kabul. Uh, if you remember, uh, what, yeah. So about Commander. So he just, facilitated that interview and, again, background testing. So the question was, why I went to Pakistan? I said, that's,
they just wanted to.
yeah, because they sent me an email. They asked me to, officially be there. And I was there for an interview. So they say something happened, on the way from Kabul to Pakistan. I said, what happened? Come on, it's just like something is broken. Then we had, yeah,
The SIV proxy satisfy the three categories, right? But in reality, you have to provide letters from it one of where if you can get it. You have to show up for an in-person interview. If you can do that, if an embassy is even open for you to do that. So this period it years that it took you 3 years, I think, my God, that is an insane amount of time to make somebody wait, especially when their life is in danger. And then there's this other period that's hard some of these war stories. Like, I know a different interpreter who it took 8 years, and the only reason that the SID was finding process is because they sued his military and U.S. citizen allies, sued the United States government on this person's behalf, and it's what she's like, this is our ally, you need to process this, and that's how they got here. So the SID process, it's like this little promise that you offer people, like this little glimmer of hope, and then we just sort of snatch it and move it further and further away and make it harder and harder. So like, and that's 3 years that you're waiting.
goes. Yeah, so the wait was okay, but just the hiding process, like I was in hiding. That's something that, always, uh, the time that I was injured, so then they transferred me from one, truck to another truck. So I lost everything. So my ID, my phone, everything was just like, and then I was getting weird phone calls. I was just like getting information, and I was passing to the team, that they they can verify, and they verify that it's, just like it's serious risk for you. And I have to just, change my location.
Yeah, Richie's life was in danger, and even as he waited, and this was, while American forces were in Afghanistan,
Yeah.
his life was in danger. Um, luckily, and by the grace of God, Ritchie was finally able to get to the United States in 2011. Ritchie, what was that process like, man? I mean, you fly from Afghanistan to the United States. What was the whole process like of like getting here and kind of acclimating yourself to a culture that is completely different from Afghanistan?
Well, first of all, let me tell you that the travel time that when me and my wife left Afghanistan, it took us 37 hours to get to the United States. We had layover in Dubai for 12 or 15 hours, something like that. So then we flew back.
Travel, baby.
Yes. Well,
Keep his passion in. So I believe that
they bought some, the cheapest, something for. So that's okay. But, the hope was getting to the United States. The hope was getting to the United States. We didn't, feel overwhelmed. We were okay with that. So when we in the United States, luckily I had most of our friends, uh, military friends, came from the airport. Lee Millis, there. Who else was that? Anthony Arnes,
Yeah.
Anthony Movini, so if you remember,
Yeah.
and Fortega. So they came. So the good thing, just like they learn all the cultural stuff. They came with their wife on the airport to meet my wife and just like welcome her, give her the feelings that you are not alone. So you're welcome. Everybody say welcome home. That was the best feeling, honestly. When I heard that welcome home, that was the best feeling. And for me, I was used to the culture, United States culture, but for my wife, it was kind of challenging first. That's with the help of American friends, that made it so easy. Very smooth process, transition. It was good.
Who do you think, Ritchie, was more helpful you first back here with your resettlement? Was it the people who you were friends with and had served with, or was it like the government
Uh, military friends. Military friends. I could say that. Even just these resettlement agency, they were just like, we didn't know. We thought that it's just like something they have, budget. They have limited budget. They just bring something. They were just like bringing 30, mattresses, and I rejected that. And military friends all brought the stuff that we needed. That was the transition that American kinds really helped us and made it very smooth, easy for us. I'm so grateful for that. Yeah, but I'm not complaining that the resettlement agencies are just good for now.
You can explain a bit for your story.
Yeah, please, bro. Like Ritchie was also, and we'll get into a little bit more about this later, but Ritchie was helped me with my last interview, Amadullah, talking to him. I'm kind of giving him some advice. Amadullah he's got really lucky because his resettlement agency is very good, and he's in a state which is like, is known for like being very generous with refugees. But in some places, a lot of these agencies are spread thin, and they're doing the best they can. They also don't pay a lot of money, and so like you get what you get, and it can be very, very difficult on an already difficult process to reintegrate into American society if you have an agency that is not as helpful as they maybe could be if they didn't have as much. I don't know.
Well, that's the struck by. It's like, Ritchie, you gave your time and your resources and your cultural knowledge to help our military. And then when you come here, I agree. I think the resettlement agencies can't offer what they should. So, like, a lot of times when we bring people here, even under the SAE program, you just expect them to be grateful to what they can offer. Hey, it's so limited, right? Like,
Correct.
we're not going to be able to welcome your faith. This is an need for you. Us.
Yeah.
It's just not something that the resettlement agencies do. And I'm so struck by the contrast of what you offer us and what we were able to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at the same time, some dishonest, employees of the resettlement agency, they want to just like took the money that it was subject to give it to us or to give to our rent. I had to call Washington D.C., the main headquarter office, and I have to just fight with it. We're just like, okay, so the promise is, so our rent should be paid like at least 3 months. Yeah. After 2 months, why you stop it? Yeah. And so those are the things that, I had to fight. I learned to fight. I need to follow up. So that's one of my recommendations for all new, SIVs or P1, P2, they're coming to the United States. I say that don't give up, follow up. Yeah, always, always.
Richie is like when I have an Afghan who is coming here, and you know, if I have the ability and Richie has the time, I will always give them over to Richie because Richie is the ultimate Afghan guidance counselor, right?
Yeah.
It's never done.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, I tell people, I'm like, look, Richie's gonna call you, and I want you to take his advice like the gospel.
Right.
Because you can,
He's the Afghan godfather.
he is, because this is as much as Richie has complained in the 14 years, I don't know. You know, Richie never complains, never complains.
Well,
This is a man who, has suffered more than I have ever met people suffer. And he always has a smile on his face and joy in his heart. And is one of the many reasons why I look up to him. It's just, it's inspiring. It's inspiring.
yeah, it's a lot. Well, yeah, just uh, it's so good to be in a country that you know everybody's safe. We have opportunities. Our kids have the best school and good future if they work hard. Yeah, I always tell them.
Yeah.
Always tell them. It's just freedom is not food. So it's not right.
So tell everyone a little bit about how, the process from, getting here into becoming like an American citizen. So you have like a gap. It's not like you just get here and they're like, you can take the American citizenship test. What is that process like for you?
Well, from the time that you get your green card, so you have to wait from the issuing date, you have to wait 5 years. Within 5 years, there's certain things that every SIB or immigrant should follow, especially for SIB 5 years. I don't know about P1, P2. I don't, so I know about the marriage or the family case, which is 3 years. Yeah, but for us, it was 5 years. It's still 5 years. The time that the green card is issued, you have to wait 5 years, and you have to have good credit score. You didn't just break any rules, even traffic tickets. Traffic tickets. If you have gotten one or two, you have to mention it. They have all the documents in front of them the time that you have your interview. So when they ask, you should be truthful. You have to say, yeah, I got the ticket. I was a reckless driver. Yeah.
You say it quite like that.
Well, honesty is the best policy, I think. Yeah. So, well, sometimes it's good to be honest. To just a smooth the process. Yeah. Other than that, so 5 years, and then you have to go through the background check again, and then pay the fee, which is it's expensive, and then English testing, something else that all SIV should know. Men and women, nobody is just exempted from the test, so they have to go through that.
And you have to have a civics test, is that right, or am I wrong?
Civic test, English test, reading, writing, speaking. Yes, all of yeah.
How did you feel when you finally became a citizen, Richard?
Well, it was honor. It was just from it was tearful, joy for me. It was so, and the good thing is I have Jonathan's stepfather next to me, which I probably call him father.
That is Jonathan Yelner, the
Nice.
driver who was killed in the IED.
Yeah. So his stepfather, Musabel Tayo, is here. He's just like a father to us, and he was there with me when I did the United States flag. I couldn't stop, I said, yes, I got it. That's something that, I wanted, and I believe that I earned it. It's called pay it forward. I paid forward to get the American, yes, the American citizenship.
Yeah, I would just like to kind of underscore that not only do you earn it, like you've more than earned it. Because I mean, for me, and it's one of the things that I think that we should do is for our combat interpreters is, as far as I'm concerned, these are veterans. These are veterans of the American service who have served honorably and in some of the most dangerous locations, and some of them, like Ritchie, have paid a price for it. Um, and they should be not only treated like every other American citizen, but held at the same esteem that you would hold somebody who is a combat American veteran as well. That's why I always put combat interpreter, put the combat part, because this is a combat veteran, and he should be treated accordingly. And so I just, I think it's important to realize that. And not only this, not only did Ritchie, serve for 2 years, survived an IED blast, but then during the fall of Afghanistan, Ritchie came back and started serving again. During the fall, Ritchie was one of the guys that I would use to be like, I need you to contact this person. I need you to contact these people. He was part of my little close circle of interpreters that I use to track people and to help me help them get out.
Sure.
Well, Richie, how did it feel with you watching the U.S. withdraw? Like, did you have a sort of like skeptics or remorse as you're watching the U.S. military view having not accomplished?
And to be honest, I really question my sacrifice and go like,
Me too.
so something it's not supposed to happen. It's really happened. So it's just, if part of my body is just went for something that it's questionable. I believe that, just people that they're still living in Afghanistan, they hate us. They think that we were there for something, which we were pretending to do it, but we never accomplished it. To me, I say that we accomplished so much, but the withdrawal itself, it was questionable. It was something that I was shocked. I was shocked, and it really just for a few days I was just not able to park it up and think. I was just like, all day, and the brave men and women we lost in Afghanistan. So we're just like a blink of eyes and just came to in front of my eyes. I was just like, really? I was not expecting that.
You know, it was disgrace. Like, when I think about the withdrawal, I am like,
You don't want to see that, ladies and gentlemen. You better watch out when Kate gets physically angry.
Yeah.
I usually just hide underneath my table.
Yes.
why you were
Well, yeah. So, well, I'm just really trying myself to just control what I say. Because when we talk about this, you don't want to hear
Pretty
that.
curse, man. This is a cursing podcast. So if you want to say shit, fuck, whatever, I don't really care. So go for it, bro.
Well,
we want here.
Yeah, we want to hear the truth, bro. Seriously.
You are outside neighborhood.
Yeah.
You can tell us because we want people to understand. It's one thing to hear, like, okay, Richie is in the IED version and he watched something get taken as a save. But I don't think that captures the full the sacrifice, right? Like, you have this job, you made these friendships, then now you're stalling. Please think about it.
well, yeah, mostly, people that we left behind in Afghanistan, that me and Will Silver, we were trying our best to provide them food. Remember, Just
Yeah.
everybody is crying. That we are hiding in our house, we can't get out. So we were just trying to find a way that we can, help them, transport some, food items for their families. I was feeling bad about them. I was just like, well, it's sad. It's obviously really sad to see uh, our 300,000 military, Afghanistan army, police that we trained them. A lot of resources went up there, and it's all collapsed. Don't take me wrong, I'm not against anybody, but these people that the other day I I heard about a podcast or just said, really, you're thinking that you're going back Afghanistan, really? The time you had 300,000 forces, Prince, you couldn't do anything. Now you want to go back? So something funny, really.
I'm going to tell a story I've had here too. We'll have to wrap it up. I got to tell this full story. I have so much respect for Ritchie. Ritchie,
Thank you.
didn't take any shit. All right, so he's coming across really humble right now, and that's part of him. But so Ritchie he was in my wedding. First of all, he was part of my wedding ceremony. I know. He was part of my wedding ceremony. He was also part of my retirement ceremony. I was able to give him an American flag to be flew. I wanted to pass the field sites. But right up there you go, brother.
Poor man. And up is sitting behind Richie thinking, my God, like they did not need to make this Afghan man sitting and sitting. And Richie just has like such a gentle face about it. I was like, I'm so mad.
So Ritchie at my retirement dinner decided that he was going so he's out there smoking and joking with Sammy and some of the other generals and stuff like that. And I won't specify the name of this gentleman, but Ritchie,
Thank you.
one of the Afghan visitors, a fairly senior ranking man, was giving another Afghan a little grief because he was Hazara. And Ritchie overheard that, was sitting right next to him, and he interjected, and he's like, you don't do that in this country.
That's what he says.
That's exactly, it's racist. And Ritchie was like, you're not going to talk like that in this country.
Yeah, Richie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Respect.
Respect.
Yes, we are all equal.
We are all equal.
So no general, no officer, nothing. So we are all equal.
Yeah.
Under one flag, one God. Yeah, we're all equal. Yes, of course. So,
And that's my brother Ritchie. Ritchie has done so much for this country, and we are all, better to have him here. And he knows my daughter. He is part of my family. Anybody who's ever met Ritchie is just like they feel like they have met somebody that is like so dear to them. Like he's Facebook friends with all my family members, right? And he's just loved. And the reason is not just for his sacrifice. It's because of his love for this country, despite some of the things that this country has done. He still loves it. And that's what real patriotism is, right? I mean, it's his love of this country, even though it has betrayed him, it's betrayed me, betrayed a lot of people. And I'm just so proud to know you, man. Like, I am so proud to have served alongside of you, my friend.
thank you.
It was the honor of my life. It certainly is.
Likewise.
Turn over. Richie, I didn't know that Yelner's dad was with you. Shipping zero. And like, if you were talking and I didn't want to interrupt, but I felt I had goosebumps just thinking about how important those relationships are and how special that moment must have been for Yelner to know that he is still so cherished by the people like he served with that they want him and his memory to still be perfect. If that stuff could still exist. And well, I actually have a question for you because
Yeah.
I know that we're trying to build Ritchie up here, but I really want to get into it. Like, what do you think your service would have been like if he had this service?
You mean in Afghanistan? There you go.
Hawks?
Yeah. Ritchie was, was the best observer I had. And he taught me so much about Afghans and about how to navigate, inside of that type of society. So I would never have been nearly as successful that I was. And then, overall, like, Ritchie was the first Afghan I ever got out. He was the first one, the first SIB, the first SIB I ever got out, the first combat interpreter I ever got out. And I think I've gotten, I don't know, combat interpreters like over 20. But like, he is my best friend. He's my brother. And I can't imagine what my service would be like without him. It would be completely incomplete. Just yeah. Yeah, it is. The fact that he was at my retirement ceremony and of course dressed better than most of the amazingly better. Look, all the Afghans were dressed better than the Americans. I hate to say that.
I was there and I agree.
Right. I mean, they came out and I was like, my God.
They were there to celebrate.
Ritchie had a 3-piece suit on, looking like a banker, man. I was like, who is that man?
I was ashamed to be in the same room as Zach. I know that you heard it, but that's Ritchie from. But the reason, so I ask this because we're in a country that talks so much about, we love our respect them, right? Like, I feel like a lot of people expect like you share with people like your interpreter. So like when you say that he's scenic, it's not just saying people can kind of understand like the singing, but he's at the effort. Yeah. So if you do care about what they're experiencing, you should care with their relationships. And I just like to
Yeah. I was also going to say, he's a part of the family as well, of course. His favorite picture, the picture your wife sent to us, your a little uniform, maybe Alice was little. So my girls always look at the picture and say, that's the silver. And the time I was coming to a ceremony, you're not invited? I said, no, it's talk for kids. Okay, so my little one, she's always curious to ask about, who's that? Yeah. So many emotional questions. Like she said one time that they were talking about the United States flag, what it means to them. She stood up and said that I'm tell it with that. And the teacher asked, "Well, your daddy did the kid found." She said that it's given both popularity ratings for serving this country. That was really emotional for me, But the love, the care, and the support I got from these wonderful people that's out there and his family, like military him. I love it. And I'm so honored to be here, next to them, and proudly call them there.
I believe that they feel the same way, Max.
Thank you. Yeah. So.
But can I ask one more question, though?
Please.
I go, Ritchie, I'm going to bring you a low one, the easy one. But as somebody who has been through the SAD process, and now you sort of see other Afghans trying to go through it, and I'm assuming that you've heard the news that we're almost out of those visas, right? Congress hasn't approved a particularly high route of additional SADs. What are your thoughts about the SAD program itself?
this idea or should never end because we still have some qualified and eligible people that they just serve this country. We shouldn't we shouldn't leave anybody behind. The promise we made, we have to accomplish that promise. We have to bring them safely here, and as an American citizen, me and all other people should sign a petition and pass the Congress to approve more visas for the people that they're qualified. And when we bring everybody back to the United States, so I don't care if they just close the entire immigration process or whatever they want to do. I'm not into politics, but just I don't give a shit about it. So I'm sorry. I was just like,
bro.
I just really control myself.
Okay, man, you let one slip.
Yeah. So I serve alongside Casey and Cousin. You know that.
Yes, sir.
So even just we are, eating your dinner and you just like, that's it, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Pop it and proud, bro.
Yes, quality proud. Yes. I mean, I learned good stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Learned good stuff. Yeah. If you guys let me, I just if you guys let me, I just have to say something about April 29, which is important.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, you. So it's kind of emotional. Kind of ourselves. Yeah. He lost the best man. So Jonathan Yelner, he was always, the time we were in Kutchbock, we always, saying that, Ritchie, one day I wish, I could see you in the United States, welcome you to the country that you work and serve for. 16 years ago, he lost him.
Yes.
Yeah. Why? It takes a faith soul to put himself on the line of duty to serve this country. I think I remember the good memories we have with him. Such a great young man. And I got to feel we still get a chance to talk about him, about his bravery, about the good case he has done for this country. Well, so both thank you so much for having me today.
It's our honor to have you on here, Ritchie. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for telling a small portion of this story. We missed out some parts but Ritchie is emblematic of thousands and tens of thousands of Afghans who served alongside American forces for 20 years, protecting Americans from some of the worst terrorists on the planet. And on behalf of every American in this country, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for me, for my family, and for this country. Thank you, Ritchie, and thank you for coming on.
And then I feel the need to echo that just because you're so graceful and you're so kind when you talk about your service that I think sometimes it overrides your bravery, your strength. And so I just, as a host, this last hour getting to speak with you and ask you questions is a genuine privilege. And I know, based on what little I've heard about Yelner, I know that you would be so happy to have you here, and I'm I am so grateful to call you my neighbor, and I'm so grateful to hold you up as a veteran. And so thanks to thank you for being you and for helping well my best friend. I'm just very grateful to you and to
Thank you. Thanks for having me today. Such a lot with you. Thank you. Okay.
All right, Kate. Until next time,
All right, Pops.
love you.
Ooh, still I do.
You've been home for a couple of years now, buddy, but you're still fighting the war.